There is a lot of chatter in regards to Daredevil Born Again and the reboot status of the series and the canon status that's brought into question when it relates to the 3 seasons of the Netflix show and also all of the Defenders. So let's talk about what if they're choosing to soft reboot Daredevil only to fix some of the problems that were brought up with the initial version. Okay, so before you get mad at me, look, I love Daredevil. Absolutely love the series. But can we, as fans, admit that it wasn't perfect, that it had a lot of pacing issues that were very apparent, and that some of the storyline decisions did not in fact work and actually hindered the series' quality in the long run? Season 1 was a great setup, and definitely the best of the first seasons in my opinion. Very closely would I say Jessica Jones Season 1 is on par with it. But then, going on to Season 2, we really started to see that maybe they jumped the shark a little too fast. The way that they dealt with the Hand and what they did with Elektra was honestly disappointing, especially if you're a fan of that character and her death arc and how it relates to Bullseye. And also the fact that half of Season 2 was literally as Punisher 0.5 the season didn't really help. The second season felt disjointed and like they were going in multiple directions. On top of this, the pacing issues in each season are very apparent. You know, we joke about it, but we joke about it because it's true. How many times can Daredevil get punched or shot or stabbed in the rib or something and then have to lay on his couch for 3 to 4 to 5 episodes, reiterating the plot to everybody while they're saving on budget? It happened. That, of course, was an issue. So what I'm saying is, what if they're looking at Daredevil Born Again as a soft reboot, and I put that in quotation marks, to be able to fix up some of these problems? What if you put the focus again on somebody like Benjamin Poindexter? But you do reveal in a retcon that he was responsible for the death of Elektra, like we knew in the comics. That gives us a little bit of a different spin on it. And again, it does, I guess, make this series a variant of what we got before, but you don't necessarily have to rewrite anything. Just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They went off, they did their own, then they come back into the MCU at the end, and they're in the MCU, but they're slightly phased out of it. That's what I'm essentially saying they could be doing here. Trying to fix up some of the mistakes, because, again, Kevin Feige was not involved with Daredevil. There's no way he agrees with every single decision they made, especially a majority of the Defenders and how they treated it. The Hand, one of the coolest aspects with mysticism and the secret society from Marvel Comics, was useless and had a hand literally like school in the middle of New York teaching ninjas during daytime. That was kind of stupid, let's be real, right? We can all admit that. Maybe here Marvel Studios is looking at a way where they could recanonize the Hand as an offshoot of like the Ten Rings or something and tie it closer to somebody like the Mandarin. Again, yeah, it's a change from the comics, but it gives it a more personal feel and more of a feel like there's been these sinister forces acting from behind the shadows that connect the dots. And don't forget, there was already a member of the Ten Rings who appeared in Daredevil. I believe it was Season 1. So this could legitimately work for them. Again, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the whole, hey, we're gonna change things from the previous seasons and we're gonna uncanonize this and redo that. But it definitely sounds like that they're leaning in that direction. And if they can fix up some of the elements and maybe say, hey, this is due to the whole, Time Variant Authority not having oversight of Kang and stuff, that might actually work. That way, you can still keep everything in canon, but also you can rewrite some of it and say it had an effect on things. And that way, things really just work out. Just toss Wong into 2 or 3 episodes of Daredevil, have him set up the whole premise of being like, yeah, you know how your memories believe this happened? It did, but things change. Ripples in time, reality. Don't worry about it. Just continue doing what you're doing. You're good, bro. Honestly, it would work. Some people will be mad, but I think it's honestly necessary at this point.